Alright guys, so today we're going to be looking at two different editors that are the most common. These are very important editors to learn because if you're going to be working on Unix and Linux systems, these are the editors you're going to come in contact with. And what I'm talking about is Vim and the editor Nano. Now Nano is a great place to start. I like to use Nano for a lot of different things, but at the same time, we have different benefits to Vim as well. You can navigate a lot quicker using Vim, using the key codes that work with Vim. You can also do various customizations for both, and we're going to cover both, but I decided I'm going to do Vim first, which is going to be found on every Linux system. Nano, not always found on a Unix system. Right now we're looking at the Vim man page, which stands for the manual, and we can go ahead and read through this and see all the various options. Today I'm only covering basic essentials, so we're going to go ahead and cover the very basics of Vim, and I'm going to show you and tell you what I think is the best way for you to take and approach this, to learn it, and to actually become comfortable with it. So we're going to go through all that today, and then we'll take a look at Nano. So let's go ahead and exit out of the manual, hitting the Q key, and then at that point, I might as well remind you to open the manual anytime you need it. You just do man vim. Now, let's go ahead and use my sysctl.conf file. This is a file that is used to pass things to the kernel and can allow you to do some kernel hardening. We're going to have a whole video on that. Consider this a little sneak peek into some of the things that I have on my own kernel. Now, a couple weeks ago, I already shared this sysctl.conf file with some of the monthly coffee members who are interested. But other than that, I haven't covered this file yet. So we'll be learning more about that coming up. Let's go ahead and open it up. When you want to open a file, you do vim and then you just type the file name. So we'll do sysctl.conf. If you want to add some of these options to your own, simply go to /etc/sysctl.conf and you can simply add some of those options. Some of these are changes that I have made since I first installed Pop! OS. Going over all this, as mentioned in the future, today we're looking at the editor. When we want to go up, we use K. When we want to go down, we use J. And when we want to go right, we use L. When we want to go left, we use H. So as you can see, it's almost like an up, down, left, right arrow right in the middle of your keyboard. And that can allow you to do a lot more single-handed navigation. Can be really convenient for that. And if you want to go all the way down to the bottom of the editor, you simply type capital G. So Shift and G will bring you to the bottom. Now, if you want to go to the very top, you simply do double G. So GG and then capital G to go down. And as you can see, you can actually see on the right, see as I type that? As I type the GG to go to the top, you'll see on the right hand side right here, it actually has some of the letters that I'm typing, and then as I type the second one, it acts on it. So that's what that is. Now if you want to delete a whole word, we will simply go down to DW, and there it is. It deleted the word kernel. Now if we want to go back, say we didn't mean to delete that word, we simply hit U. And U means undo. So I can undo all of the things that I had just done. If you need to delete a whole line, DD. As you can see, this can really speed up the process for you when you're editing something. And what I suggest to you is to go ahead and use Vim for any of your editing needs that you can take your time with. So if you're writing something, an email or something to someone, go ahead and open it up in Vim. Start editing that way. And if you use this tip, you're going to get much more accustomed to Vim usage. And then it'll become natural, just like anything else you do. So we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about entering data. At this point, say we want to type something. We type I for insert mode, and then we can just type whatever it is we want to type. Remember, each time you change the mode, you need to hit the escape button. That takes you out of the mode you're in and gets you ready to be placed into another mode. And if you need to run a command, for example, go ahead and do colon and then exclamation point, then the command that you're interested in. So say I want to list everything in my current directory, and I've just done that. It's colon, exclamation point, and then the Linux shell command that you want to execute. It's as easy as that. You can do that anytime you need to. If you need to reference different things on your system, you may want to try that colon, exclamation point, and then simply the command you're interested in. And then hit enter again to continue. And as mentioned, always remember, hit the escape button to get out of something. Now, let's say we want to write a file. We want to save this. You can do colon W to write. If you try to quit and you've modified a file, say we want to, we just modified it there. So then let's go ahead and hit Q. This is how you would quit, with colon Q. Now it's not going to let you quit. See, as you notice, when you press enter, it says there have been changes to the file. It doesn't let you just simply quit without writing to it. So if you do want to write to that, you would do WQ. What that would do is allow you to use both write and quit in the same line. So if you just want to write, you do colon W. And if you just want to quit, you do Q. But if you get an error on quitting, you may want to do Q and then exclamation point. And then it allows you to force quit without saving that file, in case you ever need to know how to do that. Now let's go ahead and open it up once again. As you can see, it didn't overwrite my file because I used the exclamation point, the colon, Q, and then exclamation point. It overrides the warnings and the errors for not saving your files. If you need to delete characters, you can also use the X command as well. As you can see here, hitting X each time I hit it, it deletes a whole character for me. If you ever need to know where you're at in a file, do Control and G. And as you can see at the bottom here, it shows 92 lines. I'm about 13% down, and it tells the file name. So it gives you a little bit of the status on where you're at in your file. So you can always do that. That's another command you can use. Say you want to search for something, use simply slash and then what you're looking for. Say I want to look for this additional word here, additional, and then there you go. It's already found it. And then you can hit enter again and you can keep searching for it. Say you want to use a backward search. You want to search up instead of down. Well, if you want to search backwards, you do question mark and then the word you're looking for. I'll do settings, and there you go. You've got that, and you can continue doing that as well. So we'll go ahead and quit now, and we don't want to overwrite our file, and so what we're going to do is we simply do Q and then exclamation point. And that's VIM. You can learn by using it more often. Another great tip, use VIM Tutor. VIM Tutor allows you to really learn the VIM system in much more ways than I've mentioned so far. So if you want to learn more advanced VIM usage, go ahead and type VIM Tutor. This is a great way to get acquainted with VIM. It gives you a ton of little practices down here where you can learn along the way and experience how to actually use VIM. And it gives you basically little problems to solve. And you can go through that and continue editing this file. It doesn't make any permanent changes to the command, and you can continue practicing with it at will. If you really want to learn VIM, and it will make you more efficient. As I mentioned, there's various ways you can customize it, but there's also ways you can quickly navigate in a file and delete things, very customized ways. And I suggest using it more often. Just find ways and excuses to use it. Write that email in VIM. Get yourself used to the navigation. And it's muscle memory, just like anything else. The more you use it, the more your mind-muscle connection builds, and the more easy it's going to be for you. So let's go ahead and quit VIM Tutor, and let's open up Nano and take a look at that. If I want to open up Nano, I simply do Nano. There we are. And it's basically the same as the other VIM. You just simply put file name after, and we can look through this. As you can see here, we have all our various commands. We can use G, Control G, gives us help options, and we can learn that this was based off of Pico. In fact, I remember using Pico on various Unix systems and VI as well before these came out. Now we'll go ahead and hit exit, and if we need to search for something, we will simply do Control W, and then we can just search for whatever it is that we're looking for. And that is an easy way to do that. So basically this is Control and then the letter that you see here. Very easy to use Nano. Nano is extremely easy. It's basically like a notepad that is for your terminal, and it makes a great handy editor anytime you're working remotely, for example. I like to recommend Nano to people as well. You're going to get a lot more work done if you're not used to VIM. I do suggest finding ways to use VIM more often, and that's what's really going to get you further with VIM. Now, I'm not an elitist. I don't think you need to use VIM. I think you should use whatever you find most convenient for the job. I personally use Nano plenty. I also use VIM. We simply can exit Nano now, and what we're going to do is we're going to exit it, and I'm going to show you a flag that I think is quite handy. So we're not going to save that. We're going to do Nano and then the L flag, and then open syscontrol.conf. Now what does that do? That's going to add line numbers. That's a really easy way to keep track of where you are if you need to know where a line is. Of course, you can also simply use the key code to find out where you're at as well. I find it handy to have, and of course you can use the various controls that you can see right here at the bottom. So very easy to do. Use all these and read more about it on the cheat sheets that I'm including for this episode. So here's the VIM cheat sheet. Go ahead and save that or bookmark it on the Gitea Onion. I've got a ton of cheat sheets. If you haven't checked them out, I'm sharing those regularly, and I just uploaded a couple new ones for Nano. So here's a basic Nano cheat sheet here. And then what we have here is a little bit more extensive Nano cheat sheet. So if you want to learn to use Nano more effectively, go ahead and check this one out. I have a few different VIM cheat sheets, and I even have a book on it as well. So if you want to check out the free books on the Gitea Onion, or check out cheat sheets. Just go to Right to Privacy and then simply tap cheat sheets, and you'll be able to download, save them, reshare them, whatever you want to do. If you just want to bookmark them and read them on the site, you're welcome to do that. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you get acquainted with both VIM and Nano, and I will be back later with more on Linux.